Hey there, it's Patricia Young. I wanted to jump on really quickly and talk to you about why is it important for highly sensitive people to spend time with other highly sensitive people. As I've been teaching these online courses for highly sensitive people, I'm seeing some really fascinating things, and I wanted to jump on really quickly and just share with you some of the things that I'm seeing. What my experience was when I was in my 30s, I went and lived in a recovery home for almost 10 months from my eating disorder, and then I continued to work with a therapist from the recovery home. What I learned was, in the family that I grew up in, there would be things that would be going on, but we never talked about it. And what was really helpful for me living in this recovery home, which was a social model, which meant that there were rules and structures. And if something happened, we talked about it. So if one of the residents broke a rule and was asked to leave the house, we talked about it as a group. What did that bring up for us? How was it seeing that? That wasn't anything that I was modeled in my family growing up. And when I totally lost my train of thought. I hate when this happens. Then when I worked with the same therapist when I was discharged from the recovery home, this was a big part of therapy. I talk about something, she'd say like, well, did you tell the person? Did you talk about how you felt? Like, it never even occurred to me that that was possible. So one of the things that's been really powerful in the online HSP courses is creating a space that's really safe for people. So nobody's going to get yelled at, nobody's going to get rejected, people speak lovingly and kindly, but we get a chance to model what happens. And in one of the groups, something happened that was a little uncomfortable and awkward. And so what I did was I asked everybody, how was that for you being witness to that? Creates a sense of like, it's okay to talk about things, it's really safe. And then last night in group, somebody had talked about, last week they had shared something about a boundary that they had set. And she said, I spent the week thinking about you guys are judging me and you think that I'm not kind. And I said, do you want to get a reality check from the other group members? And so she asked. And the feedback that she got from everybody in the group was, I really respect the fact that you're clear about what your limits are, that you set a boundary. And the feedback that she got was incredibly positive. And that wasn't what she was expecting. And then another person had said before the call started, some people get to the online group before I do, that two people were talking and they had a little bit of an exchange. And then during group, one of these people just dropped out from the group and we didn't know what happened. And so after we started talking about kind of how we're impacted, this other person said, like, I think I may have said something that offended her and that's why she left the group. So again, she got to ask for feedback from the group, and the group said, like, I don't think you did anything that was wrong. And as it turned out that this group member had a power outage and lost power and was really disappointed that they had missed the group. So I think that what happens is that when we don't have this modeled, we don't know that it comes up. We don't know that we can talk about our concerns. We don't ask for reality checks. And we often get activated and we make up a story in our head, but we don't really check it out. And so it can be really problematic. And what the people that are in the group are getting to experience right now is that experience of being able to talk about whatever comes up, knowing that it's a safe place, knowing that it's okay to talk about things, knowing that setting boundaries is, in our heads, we have these stories about why it's not okay to show up this way. And then like last night in the group, when somebody asked, she found out that people really admire how she is. That, we often have these narratives like I'm too picky or I need too much or I'm, whatever the two is. And somebody else is often looking at that and seeing it as a strength. And so the benefit of being around other people that are experiencing some of the same things that we are is we judge it in ourselves and we see it in somebody else and we have amazing and tremendous compassion. And then we kind of get this experience of, so I have this idea of how I show up, but I'm seeing it in you and I have a tremendous amount of compassion and understanding. And so it just really changes things. I'm really hoping that some of the people that are in the course will be willing to hop on a live or do a recording. I'm planning on doing a webinar so that you can hear directly from some of the people that are having these experiences, because I can tell you about them, but if I were an HSP, I would be like, yeah, I want to hear what these people are experiencing. So we'll see if a couple of the people are willing to jump on, maybe record a podcast episode with me, do a Facebook Live, so that you can hear for yourself some of the amazing changes that I'm seeing. I hope you found this helpful. If you don't know, I have a podcast called Unapologetically Sensitive. Remember, sensitivity is nothing to apologize for. It's our superpower. Have a blessed day.